Hello, this is Weasel again. It's been a long time since I've made a video or updated this page. My camera broke and then I was really busy. I was still going places with the rats and doing things and having fun, but I never got around to updating the page since like Christmas. So I figured I'd make a quick video explaining all the things that have changed. Now, as you can see, the living room's a bit of a mess right now. But that's basically just because this one tube got tipped sideways when I was getting buttons out. There. This, during the summer, it got too hot for the rats to be in the bathroom where we used to let them scurry. So in this room, my mom has an AC unit in her bedroom, and we can use that AC to cool this room. But that cardboard, this piece of cardboard here, used to be used to keep the rats, especially Misty, from going in the room when the AC is running. We have to have the door open to run the AC, but Misty would hide under Mom's bed for hours and never come out. But industrious little Misty figured out how to pull the cardboard back. And she would pull and pull and pull on that edge and sneak around like that. So we used a heavy weight, an exercise weight, let's see, kind of like that silver one there, and we had put it over here. We put the rats away for the night, so it's not there now, but that's what we had, so she couldn't pull the cardboard open. Well, she found another way to get into Mom's room. This cute little adorable hole chewed right through the cardboard. And even when the door to Mom's room is closed, because we don't have the AC on, she still chews the cardboard. She really likes the texture of corrugated cardboard. So we're going to have to patch it for the third time, or buy another piece of trifold poster board. But for the small female rats we have, that's something they can't jump over, because it's just a little bit too tall and it's smooth, so they can't climb it. So if you need to block off a certain area or create a playpen, many animal playpens that they have in stores are made of wire rats can easily climb, or are just so low that they can jump right over them. But if you tape together like 3 or 4 pieces of trifold cardboard, you could probably make a pretty indestructible pen, except for the fact that they will find a way to chew it eventually. Another development I wanted to explain is this cage. This is their new travel cage. We used to have a clear plastic rodent cage with a yellow cover, the kind you would put a hamster in temporarily while you clean their tank. It had poor ventilation, so we used to worry about leaving them in a hot car when we would take them out to places, and it was just getting to be too small for 2 rats. This was sold as a hamster cage. It's wire, so it's plenty of ventilation, and it's very, very similar to the big cage that they have in the bedroom. Ever since the first day we bought it, they've loved to go in and out of it. And a good tip to remember is, when you buy a cage like this, put it in the room that your rats play in, and make it their only source of water by putting a water bottle and put a food dish in it, leave it open. They can crawl in and out of it with some boxes to hide in. They can use it like a toy. They can crawl up and down the outside of the wire, in and out of it. That becomes a place that they just go in because there's food and water in there. They run around and play, and then they go there to get a drink of water, and then sometime when they're in there, or when you pick them up and put them in there, leave them closed in that cage for 5 minutes here and there, and then let them out 10 minutes whenever, you know. so that if you do have to do something scary like travel or move or go someplace major, or if you're just going to take them out to a vet office, they can stay for hours in this cage perfectly comfortable because they're used to it and they enjoy it. Now, this cage was designed for hamsters, so this shelf that's in here, this plastic shelf, doesn't really support the weight. And it came with a flimsy plastic wheel that wouldn't work for rats. So my mom took, I don't know if you can see it, this piece right here was the nut that held the wheel in, if we were going to put the wheel in. But we used it to support the side of that shelf so that it could hold the weight of rats without bending. So little tricks like that, you could easily modify what would be a permanent cage for a hamster into a convenient travel cage for the rats. They really enjoy it. It's spacious, it's airy, you can set it on a picnic table with them in it, and they can sit there for a little while if you're not ready to leash them yet. For going to the state park, this has turned out to be a very excellent cage, and they really seem to enjoy it. We had to cut the tissue box to get it to fit in there, but it does fit. 2 boxes stacked under the shelf gives them shade if it's sunny out. It's just really good cage. An extra thing we've added is this strap. It didn't come with a strap because this would be just a permanent everyday cage for a hamster, but it's just a travel cage for our rats. So this strap came off of an old bag, something my mom had, and we just clipped it on to the top of the cage. It kind of bends the wire a little bit, but it's really secure and it makes it easy to lift it. So this is a very good idea. It fits in the back seat of the car. Just buckle the cage in with a seat belt to keep it from tipping over, and it's been a very, very handy tool. If we take them to the park or to the vet and we want to stop off and go shopping and we need to leave them in the car with the windows down, now we can, because they have a nice big cage that they're very comfortable in with everything they need. We don't have to feel bad that they're basically trapped in a hot, uncomfortable, tiny box. So, and you might wonder why, if that's where they get their water and food from, why is it up so high? Well, if you have rats, you know they can climb up there easily, but also they climb in that bucket and up the wire. And just today I put this piece of cardboard here for them to climb on to make it a little bit of an extra challenge. But they can always they'll probably just knock it over and walk around it. Oh, also, in this back corner here, there's a soda box behind my mom's weight bench. And that soda box fits in there perfectly. It's held in place by another box on top of it, which also helps keep that cardboard standing up. And it's a very comfortable place for Buttons to nest. And we just put a tray down on the floor to protect the carpet, because she likes to hide things, and it keeps the crumbs off the floor. And we give her junk mail and she drags it in there. Really seems to enjoy nesting in there. And the latest place the Buttons like to nest is this box. You might recognize that box right there that's all taped together was actually in the bathroom, and I picked that box because it fit on a shelf. But I have actually extended it a little bit more and put it in here since we're not using the bathroom anymore. And they can go in one end and they can go in the square box, or they can keep going through the tunnel, and then that merges with the blue tunnel, which merges with that box that the pillow came in. And it's just a bunch of different places they can go and things they can climb. And we rearrange this practically every day to try and make sure that when they have their 2 to 3 hours of scurry time every day, that there's interesting things for them to do so they're never bored. Just like how every week we make sure that their cage is designed completely different. We have a Petco rat manor, and the way the shelves are, they can be rearranged, and I'll show you that in a little bit. They don't have to be put in the place that they were designed to be put. They can be put anywhere, so we can really make the cage very different every time we put it together, because they really do need a variety of stimulation. So And you might wonder, hey, it's a little bit of a mess. Well, that's because they were just playing, and that paper buttons was dragging inside that tube to drag inside the box. So, something that paper came from a bag that my prescription came in. The pharmacy gives your prescription in a bag with some information, and usually you just throw that out and, you know, put your prescription where it needs to be. Well, that outer plastic, well, actually paper, that outer paper bag, kind of like the texture of a paper lunch bag, but not really, that crinkly paper, which I have some ripped up here. I just rip it up into pieces, and Buttons loves to drag that in there, and I rip up junk mail, and I save a lot of cardboard boxes like that cracker box there that's part of another tube, because they really make good boxes, but sometimes something like a TV dinner or a frozen pizza comes in a box that's just a little too small for them to hide in. I rip those boxes up into shreds and give them to them so that they can put the cardboard as a base layer under their nest, and then put the fluffy paper towels on top, and they really seem to enjoy it, and it saves money on always giving them paper towels. So these are just a few extra tips and a little bit of an update, and I know the rats aren't in this video, but they will be in the next video I post. Well, actually, you might see them now, because I got one more thing to show you. Excuse the lighting. I'm in the process of cleaning my room and making my bed. Okay. This is what I was showing you. This is their cage, the way it's set up for this week. The hammock in the corner. This box my mom made, they can go in through one box, and then there's a hole so they can go in through the other. Hanging paper towel robes stuffed with vegetables, you know, basically. But what I wanted to show you is that on the box it shows a picture of a shelf being about where the wheel is, and another shelf being where where this shelf is. But what we've done sometimes is put a shelf here and a shelf way up here, or a shelf down here and a shelf way up here, or here. The shelves can basically go anywhere, but top of the cage, bottom of the cage, anywhere you want to put them. And I think if you go online, you can even buy extra shelves. So you can, or you can make shelves out of, I don't know if you can see that purple rock and that pink rock. They're called lava rocks. I call them steppy stones. And they just screw onto the cage, and you can put a bunch of them together and actually make an extra shelf. So it gives a lot of variety to make it as different as possible every time. And I know it's a little bit sparse right now, but I couldn't come up with anything better. So, but I found this thing. It's a pencil holder for office like supplies. It's like goes with a set of office decorations, but it really seemed to match that wastebasket that I have in the living room that they like to sleep in. So I thought it would be really cute. It's stuffed full of treats and lettuce and cardboard, and there's like some ping pong balls in there, so they have to like get all the stuff out of the way in order to get to the treats, and then it's topped on top with a cheesy chew on top. So it's very, I might have to post this video as 2, because I think they don't let you post anything longer than 10 minutes or something. But that's basically what I wanted to show you. But I don't see where they went. Misty was in the hammock and Buttons was in there. Oh, hey! They're in the tissue box. They really like the tissue box. Even if you put it in the bottom of the cage, they'll sometimes nest in the tissue box. So, and even something like a long skinny cracker box can be used as a tube, so you don't have to spend a lot of money. Oh, and I don't know if you noticed, but when I showed you that cage, there was a hammock in it, because we had a hammock in the big cage. I'll probably have to split this video into 2. Excuse the poor camera work. Had a little too much coffee. Okay. this hammock right here that's hanging in this cage, an old face cloth and a few paper clips is all it's made out of. Now, that might not be strong enough to support 2 adult male rats that would be a lot heavier, but our girls are kind of tiny and they're not really going to grow much bigger, so that it's smaller than the kind you would buy at a store, so it fits better in the travel cage, and it didn't cost me $7, so that's actually an invention my mom made. A little bit of tweaking to get the tension right, and they seem to love it. So this has just been an update on toys and things that are going on, and I will post another video actually showing them using this stuff sometime soon. And I have a lot of videos of them during Christmas and then during the summer, because it's been a very long time since I updated my page. So this is Weasel saying bye, and I hope to start sharing the life of Buttons and Misty with you again real soon.